Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here. In this video we're talking about Nintendo Switch, 3DS, Castlevania, and more. Let's get started. Alright, we'll kick things off here talking about Nintendo Switch and modding, and also emulation. And the rumors were true. Nintendo did issue a DMCA to Lockpick, and Lockpick ended up complying. And this was one of the reasons why Skyline Emulator decided to shut down. They wanted to avoid this headache altogether. So if you are looking to pull keys off your Switch, you can no longer rely on Lockpick. It last supported firmware version 16.0.0, but now it's been taken down. And it probably won't support any firmware moving forward. Obviously, this is a huge win for Nintendo. If I'm not mistaken, close to 400 repositories were affected by this. It's a huge blow to the modding community and also a big blow to the emulation community. It's harder for people to get those keys off their Switch. I would argue that this might entice people to possibly pirate a little bit more considering Lockpick is no longer available. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. And speaking about Nintendo Switch, next up we're talking about Nintendo Switch emulation on PC with Ryujinx, and Ryujinx just got a brand new update. So actually today there were 4 different updates for Ryujinx: 769, 770, 771, and 772. The most interesting updates here I think for the average person will be 769 and 770. In 769, there's a Vulkan update here that slightly improves performance in Breath of the Wild. And in 770, there was another Vulkan update that also improved performance in Breath of the Wild. And speaking about performance, next up we're still talking about Switch emulation and talking about Yuzu now. And Yuzu got a couple of updates here you might be interested in as well. So in the paid testing early access version of Yuzu, as of 3568, there's an improvement here in LayerFS mod loading speed, which greatly reduces loading times. In Fire Emblem Engage's single mod loading time, it's been reduced from 150 seconds just down to 3 seconds. That's a pretty big improvement. And Animal Crossing 8's mod loading time has been reduced from 267 seconds to 10 seconds. And on top of that, the free mainline version of Yuzu also got a brand new update. So mainline 1424 just dropped, and we've got some bug fixes and some performance improvements. For bug fixes, stuff like Bayonetta 2 Shadow is now rendering correctly. Save data thumbnails in Xenoblade should be fixed. And lighting in Xenoblade in certain areas like Frontier Village should be fixed. And for performance improvements here, it enhances performance for games that heavily rely on buffers like Monster Hunter Rise. And if you use high accuracy mode here, it enables high accuracy to fully utilize asynchronous buffers in Vulkan, resulting in improved performance. Moving on, and we're talking about Nintendo 3DS emulation on Android with Citra. Citra's got a brand new feature for you. You'll like this one if you like cheats. If you head to citra-emu.org and click on download, then click on manual download and pick up the latest nightly build here for Android. There's a brand new feature you might be interested in, again if you like cheats. You can open the cheats menu by long pressing a game in the games list. So all you have to do is just click and hold on it, and it should automatically bring you to the cheats menu. Next up, we're talking about Game Boy and Game Boy Color emulation with Pizza Boy GBC Pro, and also Game Boy Advance emulation with Pizza Boy GBA Pro. Both of these emulators got brand new updates. So for Pizza Boy GBC Pro, in version 6.05, the settings is now visible in the main game view. And in 6.06, there's some fixes for skins and filters. And for Pizza Boy GBA Pro, there's a brand new release here, or actually a bunch of new releases here that bring about some features that were introduced in the testing build. 2.5.0 brings about new ROMs menu and 4 new skin colors. We've got a whole bunch of fixes here, including one fix which reduces input lag. Next up, we're talking about Mesen, which is a multi-system emulator for the NES, SNES, Game Boy, and PC Engine, and Mesen just got a brand new update for the development build. Anyways, to be specific here before someone calls me out in the comments, the official name for this one is Mesen 2. Anyways, with the latest development build, there's a quality of life update. It fixes a crash if you got a connection error that would occur when you were checking for updates, and now it should no longer crash. Next up, we're talking about PlayStation, and it looks like there may be a showcase just around the corner. According to industry insiders Andy Robinson and Jeff Grubb, they've heard that a Sony showcase is happening in the usual late May, early June window, with Konami stuff included. I wonder if this is going to fuel the fire for the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake rumors. Honestly, I'm pretty interested to see what's going to be unveiled here, and I think I'm going to post a question over on the community tab on this YouTube page to see if people can correctly predict what is going to be shown by PlayStation. And speaking about Konami, next up we're talking about Castlevania The Arcade. And according to Video Game Esoterica here, Castlevania The Arcade has been preserved and is running on Windows. The lost Castlevania game that is 11 out of 10 rare is here. If you are curious about this one and wanted to learn more, I'll drop a link to Video Game Esoterica's video in the description below, and I do recommend checking it out. Aside from this video, Video Game Esoterica has an amazing channel and you should definitely check it out. Next up, we're talking about Linux, and if you're a fan of ethical hacking or pen testing, you might be glad to know that there's a brand new version of Parrot OS. Parrot OS 5.3 just released. And the big change here is the update to Linux kernel 6.1 LTS. Arguably, you can say it's got improved compatibility and improved performance. And speaking about LTS, next up we're talking about another Linux distribution, freesoire. Now, if you're looking to migrate from Windows to Linux, immediately I'd recommend Linux Mint or even Pop! OS. However, if you're looking for a really close Windows look and feel, freesoire 9.5 might be up your alley. 9.5 just released and it's based on Ubuntu 22.04 LTS. And last up here is just a PSA. If you're currently using Fedora 36, you might want to think about updating. It reaches its end of life as of May 16th. If you're on Fedora 37, I think end of life is in September, so right around the corner. Crazy to think that September is right around the corner from now. This year is flying by. Anyways, I'll drop a link to the OMG Linux article in the description below and feel free to check it out. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. We talked about a bunch today. Let me know your thoughts about absolutely any of it in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate, save your state.